All right, guys, we're going to start the assembly of our 2008 shelf-built transmission. The reason we're calling it a shelf-built is we're actually just going to build it, stick it on the shelf, and wait for a phone call, and somebody's going to say, "Oh my God, I need that!" And we'll sell it to them, and stick them on, take it in, and send them down the road. So, I wanted to go over some of the parts that we're going to be using in this video, give you guys kind of an idea of some of the things that we use during our overhauls. This is not necessarily what's in every transmission that we build, but in the 4L60, this is what we consider to be our basic rebuild. This does have some upgrades to it, and I refuse to build an absolutely stock 4L60 anymore, so we're gonna go over some of the stuff that we've got here. Our overhaul kit comes from Alan Humphreys at Transtar. Transtar has been around for a long time, and they've kind of taken over the transmission industry as far as the parts side of it is concerned. There's a lot of companies out there that sell good parts, and I actually bought some of this from another distributor. And the only reason I did was because whenever I called Alan, he didn't have it on stock, and I wanted it that day. By God, I have to have it, so I went to another source. But the only thing that is on this table that did not come from Alan is this internal wiring harness with lockup solenoid. This is a Roster brand solenoid and Roster brand harness, not a bad system. If you guys can remember, we tore this harness apart to show you guys what's actually inside of it on the teardown video, so this is our replacement for that. Everything from here over comes from Alan Humphreys at Transtar. So we've got a new filter. We have a master overhaul set. Master kit that we prefer to use is the Exity. This is our just stock rebuild type of kit here. This kit does come with all new steels, comes with all new pistons that are bonded, comes with all of the gaskets, all of the seals, all of the O-rings, Teflon rings, everything that is needed to rebuild this transmission as far as the paper and rubber is concerned is in this kit. We're going to be using a Borg-Warner band, part number on the side of it there for you guys that are curious of what the part number is. The reason that we use this band is we've had really good success with it. It does have a hardened end or a heat treated end on it. You guys can kind of tell the difference in the end of the material there. It is a heat treated end. Same thing on the other side. It's been heat treated right where the servo pin comes in and touches it.
Yeah, usually this part right here is bent whenever you pull them out.
Yep, yeah, they're not uncommon around here to see them with that ear just beat out of it. We do use a lot of dealer parts in our 4L60s, and I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering why we've got so much stuff laid everywhere. This is a bearing kit that we'll be using. This is actually from Sonax. Sonax makes a really nice bearing kit. It comes with a lot of the bearings that are inside of this guy. They have taken some time to upgrade some stuff. The stator shaft bearing is one that I really like, the Koyo bearing. It's a really good one. Same thing with the planetary bearings. Sprague bearing, rear planetary bearing. One thing that this kit does not come with though is the reaction shaft bearing. This bearing's used in the 04 up. I prefer to get this bearing from GM. There's a part number right there on the package if you guys are curious what the cost of that guy is. Same thing with the bearing that goes underneath the Sprague. I know this kit comes with this same bearing, but I like the dealer bearing. Same thing with the rear planetary bearing. This kit comes with this bearing in it, but I like the dealer bearing. So we're going to take those two bearings out. I want to leave these three bearings here because these bearings are we're going to actually be using. We're going to lay our valve body stuff off to the side because we're not going to get to that yet. Another Sonax part that we like to use on our rebuilds is the 3/4 return springs. These things need to be in there. They were made there for a reason. We like to use the pinless 3/4 accumulator, pinless forward accumulator. If you guys have been watching our videos, we recently had a 4L60 come in that the forward clutches were burnt, completely burnt out on, and come to find out the forward accumulator was broken. So pinless forward accumulator would have prevented that transmission from failing. So we're gonna move from there onto our bushings. We prefer to use the Durabond bushings. They've got a black Teflon coating for the pump bushing. We're going to use Durabond bushings through most of this transmission. And then the rest of them, we're actually just going to use a factory type bronze bushing. Lay all those guys to the side. One area that we don't use a bronze bushing is the sun gear. Now, the reason we don't use a sun gear, and I actually got a sun gear bushing just to show you guys what the difference is here. This is the Sonax sun gear bushing. This is the factory bushing. You guys can see there's obviously a shoulder height difference in these bushings. This bushing, the problem with this bushing is that from the factory, it does not actually carry enough load on the sun gear to support the reaction shaft, in my opinion. I personally think that's what causes rear planetary failure and what causes the sun shell to strip. So we always put the Sonax wide bushing in. Put that back in the package and lay it to the side there. We're going to be putting new sprags in it. We'll be using a Borg-Warner forward sprag. We're going to use a Borg-Warner low roller clutch in it. This is the upgraded design. We like to use these things anytime we're doing a rebuild. Another area where guys, I think, miss the ball just a little bit is the pressure plate. So the 3/4 clutch failure is a super common problem on all 4L60s. What happens on a lot of these guys, this pressure plate will actually bow. Right here on the center of this lip, your snap ring is out here on the outside edge, and your clutches are coming in contact with this edge. Well, over time, it'll cause these to bow up, kind of like that. They'll kind of have like an angle to it. And when you get that, whenever you restack your clutches will look good, your clearance will look good, but whenever it applies, it actually bows the clutches forward, warps the clutches, and causes them to slip. So anytime we build one, it gets a new top plate.
So what's the difference? This one thicker?
Nope, this is just a factory replacement. If it's built correctly, you won't have that problem again. So these are just factory replacement top and bottom pressure plates for the 3/4 clutch pack. You guys want the part number on them? This 74 number right here, this is the TranStar number, and this is the GM number on the bottom. So you guys can order it either direction. Our pressure switch manifold we'll be using is a Rostra. Not a bad pressure switch manifold. It's not an area that I use a dealer one. I do insist on dealer solenoids for these things, especially the 1, 2, 2, 3 shift solenoids. These solenoids need to be replaced every time you overhaul one. No questions, no debating it. This comes back to that, you know, David's not always right, but he's never wrong. Always replace your frickin' solenoids. Anyway, we'll move on from there. Got our new lockup solenoid, 3/2 downshift solenoid. Some people will tell you that these two solenoids should always be replaced with dealer solenoids. I like to use the aftermarket ones. I've had good luck with it, no real issues that I know of, so we're gonna move forward from there. We're going to use a Shift Technologies or Superior Transmission Parts Super Servo. This Super Servo comes with a billet 4th piston housing and a billet 4th piston with a lip seal on it instead of a Teflon ring. This is a way better design, and it cuts the cross leak on the 4th accumulator down exponentially. I told you guys about the way we feel about our pump kits. Pump has to have all new pieces in it. So this is the kit we'll be using. Comes with the new slide, comes with a new rotor, new washer, all new vanes, and it comes with, looky there, genuine GM parts for your rings. That is the entire pump in a box. One other thing we use is this Sonax 2-3 shift valve. This valve helps keep the third clutches alive, makes them live a lot longer, and has a way better shift feel to it. So last but not least, we're going to go over the valve body kit. This is a Transgo SK kit. Part number's right there on the side of the box. TranStar sells a whole bunches of these. We're not going to get into what all is in those bags over there. But what we are going to do is we're going to show you the first page here. And in big bold letters, it says this is not a do-it-yourself kit. I'm gonna stand back and I'm gonna say, while this is not a do-it-yourself kit, if you guys feel you are smart enough and feel you are competent enough to read and follow directions and understand what somebody's telling you to do, odds are you can install this kit. I don't recommend everybody doing it. If you are a person that has no mechanical knowledge or capability, do not try to install this kit. But if you feel you're fairly versed in transmissions, by God, give it hell. I mean, these things are awesome. So, okay, we're not going to get into the details of this shift kit right now. This is Transgo's shift kit. We're going to be going through that whenever you get into the valve body. Last thing we're going to go over here is our planetary. I personally prefer to put brand new planetaries in anytime we're overhauling. The problem we've got right now is the world we are living in, new planetaries are hard to come by for some reason. This planetary is a Remand Planetary, supposed to be remanufactured, has a new bearing in the bottom of it, and appears to be a stock planetary. In my opinion, I don't think this was a Remand. I think this thing was cleaned up and sent out the door as a Remand. I don't think there's anything new about it. The bearing in the bottom doesn't look to be new, so we're gonna go grab a new one off the shelf and see if we can see any differences in the two. Alrighty, so we've got our new planetary here. This was sent to us as a new one, well, as a Remand. I don't believe it's a Remand. I believe this is a used one. What tells me, or what gives me big red flags, is what looks like wear marks on the side of that bearing.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like it's had something riding against it. When compared to a brand new Planet, you see that there's no wear on that bearing. I don't think this planetary was Remand. I think this was just a good used one that was cleaned up and repurposed. So with all that laid out, we're going to try to get all of our parts cleaned up and get this transmission ready to assemble. If you guys have any questions about what we use and why we use it, or have any ideas or any suggestions of what you think we're doing wrong, let us know. We'll gladly hear anybody's opinion. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Try to turn on your notifications if you can. With this video comes hopefully a whole bunch more videos that we're going to go through and show you guys how we install all this stuff and how we set our clearances and why we set our clearances the way we do and how we measure in clearance and so on and so forth. So hope to see you guys on the next video. Thank you.